So recently Todd Howard did an interview with IGN Unfiltered, which I'm not entirely sure what that is. Like, it's supposed to be hard-hitting questions or something. I don't exactly know. It seemed like a pretty basic interview to me. And during this interview, Todd Howard pretty much admits that he knew Fallout 76 was going to be a failure, that people weren't going to like the game. Let's just hop right into it.
So that project certainly at launch was simply just not super well received, critically certainly. Do you have an idea of how it's going to land, or were you caught off guard by the launch of that game?
We knew we were going to have a lot of bumps.
He says that we knew we'd have some bumps. There's more than just bumps, Todd. This is one of the buggiest games I've ever personally played, one of the buggiest AAA launches that I can ever remember. This game had so many issues, more so than a regular Bethesda game has. You had the frame drops, the stuttering, your character randomly taking damage, enemy AI that wouldn't even really fight back or do anything. Sometimes they would just stand still in a T-pose and let you kill them. Character models that are scarier than any goddamn thing in the game. This is part of my issue with Bethesda and this game, is they always try to play it off like it wasn't that big of a deal. They always just say, yeah, we had some bumps. The launch was a little bit rocky. Like, no, it was a fucking horrible launch. Own up to it.
That's a difficult development. A lot of new systems and things like that. Hey, we're going to go try this new thing. And anytime you're going to do something new like that, you know you're going to have your bumps. You know that a lot of people might say, that's not the game we want from you.
This is something that I see a lot of people still bring up to this day when they're talking about people hating on Fallout 76, is that a lot of people did not want a multiplayer Fallout, and that is very true. But the thing is, we're talking about how poorly the launch of the game was, and how critically the game wasn't well received, like how the low ratings of the game, it got like a 5 or whatever. The majority of the people who would not want to play a Fallout multiplayer of Fallout Online would not have bought Fallout 76. Like, if they were adamant about that standpoint, they wouldn't have dropped the $60 on it. The majority of the people who did play Fallout 76 at launch were the ones who were willing to give it a chance. So it isn't just these people who did not want to play a Fallout multiplayer that are hating on your game.
But we still want to be somebody who's trying new things. And that was a very difficult development on that game to get it where it was. And we were ready for, a lot of those difficulties ended up on the screen, and we knew, hey, look, this is not the type of game that people are used to from us, and we're going to get some criticism on it.
Again, using words like bumps and difficulties and saying people were giving it criticism because it's not a game that people usually expect from Bethesda, it being a multiplayer Fallout. Instead of just owning up to the fact that the game was just boring and shit, the game was, even if you put the bugs and the glitches and stuff aside, the game was just boring. Like, it was just an empty world. The lack of NPCs made it very, very boring. A lot of the quests, there was no depth to the quests. You didn't feel like you were completing anything because you're not going to a guy, getting a quest, doing something for him, going back to him for the reward. You're just talking to holotapes. You're just talking to letters. And again, blaming the criticism on people who didn't want a Fallout multiplayer instead of just owning up to the fact that you made a shitty game.
You'd been on quite the hot Las Vegas type of winning streak.
Sure.
You personally, like a Todd Howard, your name on something. So that was.
But we knew that going into this. We knew it's not that, right?
Yeah.
You would say, look, this isn't a game. Even from the beginning, this is not going to be like high Metacritic game. That's not what this is.
And this is the main point of the interview that we want to talk about and why I wanted to make the video. It's so strange to me. Why would you make a game that you know is going to fail critically? Like, he admits right here, he knew from the beginning, they knew from the beginning that it wasn't going to be a high Metacritic game. It wasn't going to be rated well by the community. How can you at all possibly defend a game that you, the developer, knew was going to fail critically from the very beginning? A game that you knew was going to be poorly received by the community, by a lot of people out there that weren't going to like this game. How can you sit there and tell us that you think the game is good? You yourself always knew the game was bad.
All of the games like this, whether it's us or somebody else, you can go back and look at them. There's a period once you launch. It's not how you launch, it's what it becomes. And
again, this is more of Todd deflecting, right? The bumps, the difficulties. People didn't want this game. Every game like this has a rough launch, and it's more about what the game becomes as opposed to its actual launch. Maybe that's true. A lot of games get better as they go on, right? They improve it, they add more content. But not every game launches like Fallout 76 launch. Again, one of the worst launches in recent history.
And people who play it, and they'll come back. And it was, by the way, it's been very popular, right? So It was a huge release for us. The community around it's really, really strong.
No way, Todd, you don't say, huh? The people that still play Fallout 76 like Fallout 76? No shit, obviously. they're the only people you have left. Like, this game is not a game that's ever going to draw in any other players outside of just some sort of massive update. I don't even know what you could add to the world or to the game to bring people back. But for the most part, most people were burned by Fallout 76. It's a waste of their time and money, and they're never coming back to it.
What have you learned from 76?
Well, the main takeaway we had was you got to let it bake with a large live audience for longer than we did. There's just certain things you can never see until it's running 24/7 for a number of months. So, you know, if there's one thing that we could have, I think I would have done differently, is find a way to let at scale people be playing the game 24/7 before you say, you know, everybody in, here you go, pay us.
This one was a bit surprising to me. I appreciate that he admits this, obviously, but literally everybody was saying this before the beta even dropped. When we knew that there was going to be a beta for Fallout 76, and we heard that it was going to be limited times, 3 hours this day, 4 hours this day, 2 hours that day, like, we knew that that wasn't good enough. This is their first attempt at a multiplayer game for one, so we already knew it was going to be buggy as shit. Regular single-player Bethesda games are already buggy as shit, so we knew there was going to be a ton of issues, and we've been saying that forever. Like, we need a lot of time playing this game so that you guys can really see what all the issues are. Everybody knew this! Every single person! Except Bethesda, apparently. Pretty much every other multiplayer game out there has a relatively normal beta, but let's do our super, super short and limited.
Do you think 76 has had any lasting sort of damage to Bethesda's reputation or Fallout's reputation?
I'm sure it's had some. It would be naive to say it's had zero, right?
I don't know the lasting impact that Fallout 76 is going to have on Bethesda or the Fallout franchise, but obviously is a blemish on the record. But he pretty much had to say yes here, because if he was like, no, I don't think Fallout 76 is going to affect Bethesda or Fallout, everybody would know that he's lying out of his ass.
It's got to be, I don't know how much time you spend sort of looking outward at things, but it's got to be reassuring when you see a No Man's Sky or a Sea of Thieves, some of these other similar kind of service-based games that that did launch poorly in some capacity or another, but have over time through many an update like come back to a place where they're now very well regarded and very well liked.
But more than that, it's actually all of them. Right? Yeah, I won't go through the list. But you could take most popular online games and go back to day zero, and they're going to go through their problems.
And one last time, Todd Howard had to deflect again, instead of just admitting and agreeing with the interviewer and saying, you know what, yeah, Sea of Thieves had a terrible launch. No Man's Sky had a terrible launch, but through some updates and stuff, they've come back, they brought a lot of players back in and built a community, and that gives us a little bit of hope for the future of Fallout 76. He just says no. Every single game out there has had a terrible launch, just like Fallout 76. If Bethesda would just admit fault for the game instead of trying to pretend like every other game launches like this, I'd have a less issue with them. It's always been one of my biggest issues with Fallout 76 and BGS, is they pretend like this is normal for a game. And that's pretty much the interview, at least the parts we want to look at. There is a longer version of the interview where they talk about other different things, but we're here to talk about the Fallout 76 stuff. I'm glad that Todd Howard admitted fault in certain areas like the beta, how they should have done the beta more correctly, like any other multiplayer game out there does a fucking beta. And even though it shouldn't be shocking, it still surprises me that over half a year after the launch of this game, they're still pretending like it's normal for a game to launch like that. Like, yeah, we knew there's going to be some bumps and some difficulties, and sometimes that appears on screen. Like, bro, this was a seriously bad game and launch. This isn't normal, and it's a major blemish on the record of one of the arguably best developers out there. And then Todd Howard admitting that they knew the game wasn't going to be a Metacritic, like, popular game. Like, they knew it was going to be critically panned before the game even came out, is shocking to me that he would say that. By the way, guys, it's been a while since we've talked about Todd Howard or Bethesda or Fallout 76. It feels like it's been a long time. I don't know exactly how long, but it feels like it's been an eternity. Felt good to talk about this game and maybe even rant a little bit. I haven't talked about Fallout 76 or raged about Bethesda or Todd Howard in a long time. It actually felt kind of good to make a video like this. But I pass off to you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this Todd Howard IGN Unfiltered interview? Felt like a pretty regular interview to me. Either way, I pass it off to you guys in the comment section. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Bethesda content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @the-david. At my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
This isn't a game, even from the beginning, this is not going to be like, you know, high Metacritic game. That's not what this is. Everybody in, here you go, pay us.
Give me a smile, give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while, quit acting like a baby.